It's your man, Young Fresh, man. Welcome back to Finance with Fresh. I'm your host, Fresh. So let's get into it. I promised y'all that we was gonna talk about the concept of paying yourself first. So I'm gonna tell y'all what it means to pay yourself first. But first, real quick, let me not forget, bro. I'm new to this YouTube game, so hey, do me one quick favor. Subscribe. So take a second, take a pause. Don't do nothing. Just, I'm going to pause. Moment of silence for you to subscribe. Good job. All right. So, appreciate that. So, now I'm going to jump into it, dog. As always, I like to tell y'all the why, how, and the what. Why we doing this, man? Why am I doing this video? I'm doing this because I come from a community that I feel like is lacking this information. It's not taught in the home. It's not taught at school. So I'm doing my due service, doing my due diligence to try to come back and, reach some people. So that's what we gonna do. How we gonna do that? We're gonna do that through sound information about economics and finance and investments and how to do that. So that's how we gonna do it. So what? What is it? What does it mean to pay yourself first? So if you watched my last video, we kind of went over the balance sheet or the income statement or the books, aka the books as we would describe it. And when we went over that, what we detailed was that we got 4 quadrants of cash flow. My marker want to act up as soon as I hop on the video. Let me see if I can get my marker to act back right. But we got 4 quadrants of cash flow. All right. I, which stands for income. E, which stands for expenses. L, liabilities. And A, for assets. Let me show y'all an example of that. See that? Wow, got that. Right. So, in the cash flow quadrant, you utilize the cash flow quadrant to pay yourself first. And what the term actually means is that when you look it up on Nerd Wallet or wherever you Google search, they gonna say what it means is to save first. But as you know, I don't believe in saving. It's fuck saving. I don't believe in saving. Saving is for losers. Because reason why, let me tell you quickly why I don't believe in saving. Because if you know anything about inflation, you cannot save past inflation rate. You know, most banks have a 0.2%, 0.2%, not 2%, 0.2% inflation rate. 3%, even if you talk about a high end yield savings account, it's still like 2% or some shit like that. Not really great value for your money just sitting there. And the inflation rate, I think, is like, it's increasing by like, I think in the past 10 years or the past 20 years, 30 years, maybe, or it increases about at an average like 4.7% a year or something like that. Don't quote me, but basically you're not beating inflation. So saving is for losers. So that's what Nerd Wallet say, that they say paying yourself first is to put money in your savings account or retirement account. I don't believe in 401k. I'll break that down in another video. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to post those down below so I can know where to go with the next video. You know what I mean? All right. So back to what paying yourself first is to me. According to Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, this is one of the GOAT books of finance. It's not the only. I know people talk about this book like it's the only book. It's not the only book, but it is one of the gateway books. All right. According to Robert Kiyosaki, saving is for suckers. And what paying yourself first means is to take your income as money comes in into this quadrant right here. The very first thing you do is put money into this quadrant. before you do any of this, right here, assets. So what that is saying is that I'm gonna make an investment on an asset that's going to impact my income, so that my income therefore changes. So when your income changes, what happens? The math changes. Simple as this, right? So I'm gonna show y'all an example, right? I got my examples already written out pre-hand, so I ain't gotta go through so much, right? We got example 1. Income is $3,000, right? We got rent, utilities, car lease, groceries, miscellaneous, credit cards, insurances, entertainment, personal care, mortgage. Now, this is not all the expenses for this one person. I'm just writing all the expenses out because we're going to have a couple examples, and I might just go through them. And I'm going to explain some key things, the difference between expense and liabilities and how they would be listed on the sheet, for example. You feel me? All right. So, now we got our person right. Our person 1. They got $900 in rent, right? $200 in utilities, $400 in a car lease, $400 in groceries, $600 in insurances, and personal care and entertainment. We're gonna combine them together. They got $500 there. And we're going to get them $400 in liabilities. You know what I mean? And then they got some other debts, too, that we just going to list so y'all can get an example of how real life works. All right. So, look. You see we got our numbers. And I'm just going to simulate this and add it up and give y'all a full total of what they coming out with. In all actuality, they total monthly income, expenses. Now, keep in mind, let me tell y'all something right here, right? So, this is listed in the liability category, and this is listed in the expense category. I don't know if y'all can see this real good. Hopefully, y'all can see this real good when the video come out. Now, just pay attention to the itemized items. I'm going to explain that at the end, the difference between an expense and a liability in the way it looks in real life. But you see the itemized items and what they look like. All right. So, total monthly expenses is $3,400. Remember, we said the income was $3,000. So, this person is going $400 in the hole every month. How are they making up this difference? Are they making up this difference? I know this is hard to imagine, but this happens to be a lot of households in America, to where this is a true fact. Looking for my eraser. This was my piece of paper towel. Oh well, I'll just use my hand. All right, so now what does it mean to pay yourself first? Now I'm gonna remove all these examples of expenses and etc. right there, right? Because that don't even matter when we talk about what we doing to pay yourself first. We already said our total for the month is $3,400, right? And we bringing in $3,000. I'm gonna tell y'all about what it is before I show y'all. So basically, what you gonna do is, let's say you can figure out a way to manage to take from your $3,000 that you spend every month, you figure out a way to take $400 of it to make an investment. You make a $400 investment that's going to bring you $200 extra a month. So I am going to have to wipe this off in a second. So, because I don't need none of this to just show y'all, because I'm going to just show y'all impact on month by month what's going to happen, right? And you don't got to look at it month by month, because the scale could be different. It could be day by day. It could be week by week. It could be month by month, etc. The whole point is, when we make this impact, we going to see what's going to happen. So, now remember, we're going to increase our income by $200 every month. So the first month, we got $3,000, right? Remember, we making an investment. We invested $400, right? So, you know what I mean? So the next month, we go to $3,200, right? So instantly, we change our income from $400. I mean, instantly we change our income from $3,000 to $3,200. Now let's just say we gonna work with that extra $200. We not gonna get drastic. We just gonna work with that extra $200. And I'm gonna put the $400 right here on the side. I am gonna put the $400 because I want that to show as money we invested. Now let's just say we work with an extra $100, and that's gonna bring us an extra $50. So now we at $3,250. Now how much we want to invest this time? Let's say we want to take $250 this time, right? We're gonna take $250 this time, and that's gonna bring us an extra $100, right? So now we at $3,350, right? I'm probably gonna do this maybe 4 more times. Let's say we take $300 this time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take $300. That's gonna bring us $150. So now we at $3,500. I just want y'all to see right now. I'm gonna stop right here. Now this is 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and next time I shouldn't even call it months. I'm gonna just call it investments or flips. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do that right now. I ain't even gonna put it out here to let y'all think that this is months, because this ain't months. Time is time. I'm not gonna put a limit on how you flip or what you do, or you know what I'm saying. We just gonna say 1 flip. I'm gonna keep it hood for y'all. 1 flip, 2 flips, 3 flips, 4 flips. Now we in the net 100. So look, here's an example. It took us 4 flips to start netting 100. The reason why I said net 100 is because, remember, our true total expenses plus liabilities equals $3,400 for the month, which is a net of 100. And that's simply what paying yourself first means. I was going to show y'all another example of paying yourself first, and I was going to get real in depth into details about it, but I think that really just did it for y'all. Like the name of the game is flip. Invest and flip. Invest and flip. So now I'm going to just kind of show y'all the difference, since we was on the topic and we was real here. I'm going to show y'all the difference between expenses and liabilities, okay? And the main focal points we going to focus when we describe this is going to be your car and your house, all right? Or your means of transportation and your place where you reside. That's what I'm going to call it, because I got to get real specific when I go into describing these. And you know what? I ain't even got to do nothing but deal with just these. I ain't got to deal with nothing else but just these. I'm going to just give y'all a certain couple examples. It's going to be car lease on the top as an expense. And then we going to have rent as an expense on the top. At the bottom, on the liability side, we're going to have car note, mortgage, credit cards. Now, we're going to put a couple on the bottom. Credit cards, student loans, and then we're going to put other debts down there, ODBs. All right, so now the reason why a car lease and a car note are opposite on the scale is because they both got two different impacts. I think we talked about this a little bit on the last video. A car lease doesn't have the same liabilities as a car note. It actually doesn't have any liabilities. If you don't pay it, they come take it. You might owe the payment, but you're not liable, held past that. Okay? Car note, different story. You don't pay that, they come take it, they sell it, and you're liable past the amount that they weren't able to get back for that. Like you owe that. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Rent, mortgage, rent, same thing. Don't pay your rent. Consequences for it, not liabilities. Consequences, you get kicked out. You know, they evict you. You know, you got a public record, which that might be a liability. You know what I mean? I also remember we also refer to the liability category as the credit category because everything that goes in this category will affect your credit. Mortgage. You don't pay a mortgage, they take your house. You know what I mean? You got liability for that. You lose the value of your house. Like, a lot of people think that's an asset. It's not an asset until you own it. Once you own it, it removes from the liability category and it goes to the asset category. I'm a homeowner. I own my home. It's an asset. It's not a liability. If I had a mortgage, when I position myself and I go mortgage, draw down and mortgage my house, and I take that income that they give me, now my house will become a liability. It'll transfer over and slide over to the liability category. Wow. And some other forms of liabilities are credit cards, student loans, and other debts. Again, things that affect your credit. That's why it's basically called the credit category. So yeah, there you go, man. That's why one of the mottos is pay yourself first. That's one of the concepts I teach. After we show you all about balancing your budget and all that stuff, now it's time to begin paying yourself first. And that just means trying to figure out ways to make investments so we can produce more income. Once we got more income, we got more money to do what? Make more investments, of course, duh. When it comes to liabilities, you really don't want to have too many liabilities. You want to have those things in liability category as credit. And the thing about credit is to build credit. It's not to buy things. It's not to make purchases. It's not to look good, keep up with the Joneses. Credit is to build credit. Unless you cool with maintaining and you just want to, you secure in your lifestyle, then just maintain. But if you want to get things and build things and get businesses and be able to do that, then you got to be building credit, not just purchasing things. That's not building credit. You got to understand the nuances of credit and how you manipulate and utilize credit. Now, as someone who's had to learn this the hard way, because I did, nobody kind of taught me, you know what I mean? Take it from me. Credit is king. Shout out to Will Roundtree. Credit is King. That's another good book you could pick up. I'm probably going to have some links in the description down below. Probably have a link to how you can get Rich Dad Poor Dad. Might have a link to how you can get Credit is King from Will Roundtree. I'm also going to have some links to some financial platforms that I use below. Stash is a platform which I use to buy fractional shares of stocks. For those of y'all who aren't familiar with fractional shares of stocks are, that's being able to buy a share of stock at $1, meaning at the very dollar I can spend. A stock can cost $100 and I can spend $1 to buy that $100 stock, and I'll get a piece. I'll get 1% of that stock, which all a stock is anyway is a share. It's all it is a percent anyway. So that just breaks it down even better. I will have a link down below to my Stash. Stash is my favorite platform I use to buy stocks. It's not the only platform, but that's my favorite for right now, and I'll tell you why I'm a fan of Stash in another video. Digit is also a platform that I use to save money. I don't believe in saving. I make investments. But it is a cool little app I do use to store cash away from myself without noticing. And I can store the cash and I can access the cash and use it to do whatever I want to do with it. And you can actually set up, itemize the storage for whatever you want to store it for or whatever like that. Be careful because it does have some drawbacks if you're trying to pay for something and then some money came from out your Digit account. You can work the configurations in there. But I love it. I like the way for somebody who don't save money, because I don't believe in saving, to look at my Digit account and see I got some a stash of money over here, you know what I mean, that I can use. I love it. Cash App, of course. I have a link to my Cash App down low. If you want to use Cash App, that's another. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Cash App. You know what I mean? That's a cool little link I use to send cash or whatever like that. I also got a link to a good. When we talk about building credit, a good platform that I just found out about called Self. Self is a good platform. They report to your credit bureau every month. It's like a prepaid CD, certificate deposit. You will get a little bit less than you deposit for the whole entire year, but you will get your money back at the end of the year, and you'll get it reported on your credit as an installment loan, and that should boost your credit a little bit. For somebody who's particularly working on credit like I am, then that might be something that you're very, very interested in. I got a link for that below. Of course, all with these links, you get a little something, I get a little something if you download and utilize them or whatever the case may be. The last link I got below is to the platform that I use to purchase my purchase my cryptocurrency. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is killing it right now. I'm going to do another video where I'm going to tell you Bitcoin is the hottest thing on the market. Bitcoin is the must-have in your portfolio. It's probably going to be the worldwide currency in the near, who knows, 20-year future or something like that, 10-year future. I don't know. Who knows the way Bitcoin is performing and soaring, and the way they changing the game financially and economically and in a currency fiat type of way. Yeah, so I got a link to my COINBASE. It's a cool little app that you can purchase cryptocurrency on there. I like COINBASE because the reason why I like a lot of the apps that I use is because they're user-friendly as far as being able to configure and utilize the app. Coinbase also has like some type of educational thing on their platform where when you do the tutorial, they give you Bitcoin. So that's a cool thing to utilize. That's it, man. I'm just going to continue to stress, man. You got to pay yourself first, man. You got to invest first. I'm sorry I had something pop up on my screen. I'm recording this on my phone. Look pretty good, by the way. But yeah, again, subscribe. If you didn't subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna try to do a video at least once a week. I like to be looking good, so sometimes I gotta wait till I get my haircut. I'm fresh off a haircut, you know what I mean? Getting a little old, you know what I mean? But I still look alright, you know what I mean? But that's beside the point. So I'm gonna try to do a video once a week. This is Finance with Fresh. I'm your host, Fresh. Of course, you got my my ats down below where you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I'm more so on Twitter these days and Instagram. I ain't really been on Facebook like that lately. I don't really be on Instagram like that, man. I'm more so on Twitter, dog. Hit me on Twitter, man. Tell me what you think. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, etc. It's your man's Finance with Fresh. We out.